Apparently, not every queen needs her king. Sure, Queen Elizabeth II is married to Prince Philip, but that's all he'll ever be. Thanks to the rules of the royal family, Philip isn't eligible to gain the king title. When Prince William becomes king, on the other hand, Kate Middleton will assume the title of queen or queen consort. So what exactly dictates the titles people receive once their spouse becomes the king or queen? It does depend on gender. The British parliamentary law is to thank for these confusing rules, according to the British royal family's website. It actually depends on the gender of the person marrying from the royal bloodline. Gender doesn't come into play, however, when determining who's in line for the throne. Instead, it looks solely to blood. While Elizabeth still holds the queen title, her son, Prince Charles, is next in line to become king. Next is William, and third is Prince George. After him, however, is his younger sister, Charlotte. William and Middleton's youngest son, Louis, is fifth in line. Gender equality in terms of succession hasn't always been the case. The law used to place males in front of women, even if the male had an older sister. But in 2011, then British Prime Minister David Cameron introduced the new legislation. He also nixed the rule that demanded potential monarchs could not marry Catholics. Cameron argued, these rules are outdated and need to change. Women take on the title of a male from the royal bloodline. When a male from the royal bloodline marries a woman, such as in William and Middleton's case, the woman takes on the royal male's title. Middleton already became the Duchess of Cambridge after William was named the Duke of Cambridge, and will become queen when he becomes king. And if Middleton were to outlive William, she would lose her queen status and take on a different one once their son, George, became king. In another example, when the current queen's father, George VI, was crowned king, his wife became known as queen consort. She was more widely known as Queen Elizabeth, however. And when Elizabeth II took the throne, her mother was instead deemed Queen Mother. Men do not take on the title from a woman in the royal bloodline. When a man marries into the royal family, however, he doesn't get to become king when his wife becomes queen. So once Princess Eugenie marries Jack Brooksbank in October 2018, he will simply remain Mr. Jack Brooksbank. Philip actually didn't even earn his prince title until Elizabeth became queen. Formally, he's known as Prince Consort. He was born Philip Mountbatten, and was originally a prince to the Greek and Danish royal families. But when he married into the British royal family, he gave up his rights to the thrones of his original two families. Even though Philip wasn't originally deemed a prince until his wife was queen, he was given the title His Royal Highness, the Duke of Edinburgh, on the eve of his wedding. In a heartbreaking interview with Martin Bashir, the Princess of Wales said that she'd like to be the queen of people's hearts but doesn't think many people wanted her to be queen. Princess Diana captured the nation's hearts with her honesty, grace and the fact she genuinely seemed to care about others. In the infamous interview with Martin Bashir on the BBC's Panorama in 1995, the People's Princess explained to the world why she thought would never be queen, and it was all to do with what the royal family's perception of her. When Bashir asked her, "Do you think you will ever be queen?" she quickly replied, "No, I don't, no." She added, "I'd like to be a queen of people's hearts, in people's hearts, but I don't see myself being queen of this country. I don't think many people will want me to be queen." She continued to say that by people she really means the establishment she married into and feels they decided that she was a non-starter. When asked why this was the case, Diana went on to say that she believes her problems with the royal family were because I do things differently and doesn't go by a rule book as she leads with her heart and not her head. She added that she thought she didn't have supporters in the royal household for a bizarre reason, they see me as a threat of some kind. Diana said to Bashir that she feels every strong woman in history faces this reaction, because their strength inspires confusion and fear. The enlightening and in-depth interview covered a lot of ground on some very important topics. This is what the princess had to say on some of them. What Diana said about her marriage. At the time of the interview, Diana and Charles had been separated for nearly 3 years. The pair married in 1981 when she was just 19 years old. She told Bashir that she may have felt daunted by the pressures of marrying into the family at the time, she still felt she had the support of her husband-to-be. She said that she desperately wanted it to work and desperately loved my husband, but when Charles asked for a separation she accepted. This was the interview where she famously said of Camilla Parker Bowles, "There were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded." What Diana said about mental health. In the BBC interview, Diana was very candid about her difficulties with her mental health, saying that she struggled with postnatal depression and bulimia, which she described as a secret disease. She also admitted to having hurt herself and feeling the pressures of the limelight. For instance, you have so much pain inside yourself that you try and hurt yourself on the outside because you want help. I was actually crying out because I wanted to get better in order to go forward and continue my duty and my role as wife, mother, Princess of Wales.
Camilla, Duchess of Cornwall, will become queen despite Clarence House's previously claiming she will not take the title when her husband is crowned, a former private secretary said. When Camilla married Prince Charles in 2005, the royal palace issued a statement saying the Prince of Wales's second wife would not use the title of Queen Consort out of deference to late Princess Diana. But a royal insider believes the chances of seeing a Queen Camilla are high. Patrick Jeffson, private secretary to Diana, the Princess of Wales, between 1989 and 1996, shared his views on what the future holds for the Duchess of Cornwall. Appearing on Channel 4's The Royal House of Windsor, he said, "I think Queen Camilla was always on the cards. You'll never find it acknowledged, you'll find clever wording like there are no plans or it is not envisaged. But I bet you $1 to $1 Her Majesty Queen Camilla will be crowned." Mr. Jeffson's shocking claim came shortly before Clarence House removed any references to the potential title the Duchess will use once her husband and heir will ascend to the throne. Last year, the royals' official website stated in its frequently asked questions page, "Will the Duchess become queen when the prince becomes king?" As was explained at the time of their wedding in April 2005. It is intended that the Duchess will be known as HRH, the Prince's consort, when the Prince of Wales acceded to the throne. Clarence House officials said the statement was removed because the public was no longer interested in the issue. Prince Charles and Camilla had a years-long affair while the Prince of Wales was still married to Diana. The affair was made public by the princess in 1995. During a bombshell interview to Panorama where Diana unveiled the deepest secrets of her unhappy marriage, famously saying there were 3 people in her relationship with Charles. Following Diana's death in 1997, Prince Charles made clear within the palace his relationship with Camilla was non-negotiable. And it was officially revealed 2 years later, on January 29, 1999, when the pair was seen leaving London's Ritz Hotel together. Mr. Jeffson's belief there will be a Queen Camilla is already proven correct by the British Constitution, which states the wife of the king automatically becomes a queen consort. Royal expert James Brooks had previously told Express.co.uk, "Camilla will become queen, there is no choice to make. Only a direct intervention of the government in the royal matter would prevent this from happening. But a change in the constitution for a similar reason may upset many," Mr. Brooks said. The expert continued, "Despite the public opinion started to change over the years, many are still very skeptical about Camilla. A lot of people are antagonistic towards her, and that's mainly down to the relationship and previous history with Diana. But while her becoming queen could enrage some, a change in the constitution just for Camilla may get even more people very upset." Camilla is set to blow the lid off the royal family with the shocking $12 million tell-all that will reveal every palace secret from the last 50 years. The Duchess of Cornwall has been in top-secret negotiations with book publishers in the U.S. about a deal that could see her share her never-told-before story, much to the shock of senior royals. It's believed the blockbuster expose will reveal exactly how her illicit romance with Charles began and new details of their affair behind Diana's back, as well as revealing exactly how she feels about every member of the royal family. Sources tell USA Express Camilla's views on Duchess Kate, Meghan Markle and Denmark's Princess Mary, which aren't exactly kind or pleasant, will shock the world, making it no great surprise that the Queen is using all her power to stop the tell-all from ever seeing the light of day. Camilla's been offered a whopping $10 million by a U.S. publishing house to spill all her secrets on her life with Charles, their affair and all the dramas from inside the palace, and it's caused terror to rip through the royal family in what they fear could be the biggest scandal they've ever faced, a high-ranking palace source tells USA Express. One of Camilla's closest aides leaked the information to someone inside the palace, and an emergency summit was called immediately by the Queen, says the source. The entire family has been shaken to the core, especially Charles, who fears Camilla's revelations could be explosive. It could not only destroy the royal family's reputation but cause them to fall apart for good. Camilla is said to be revealing exactly what happened between her and Diana, how Charles was still seeing her when they were married, details of bitter showdowns with William and Harry, and painting the boys in a very different light to the charming princes they are known to be. She's also set to spill potentially devastating details about how the Queen really reacted to Harry's relationship with Meghan Markle, tensions between Charles and the Queen over the throne, and how Kate tried to bulldoze her journey to the throne and the rows which took place between them. This could potentially be devastating, and the palace is now trying to devise an action plan to stop the publishing deal from going ahead. Right now everyone feels like they are waiting for a bomb to explode. It's believed Camilla is digging in her heels undoing the tell-all, with supporters revealing she thinks she's been silenced for too long and that her opinion deserves to be heard. Camilla, say sources, loved the attention she received following her interview to commemorate her recent 70th birthday, and would love to have more time in the limelight. She's so fed up with so many things behind palace doors, that's why she's really considering doing this book, an insider reveals. She disapproves of Meghan, Kate and Princess Mary. She really hates that so many commoners are finding their way into Europe's biggest royal families. She's sick of the sympathy that Diana continues to receive and how she and Charles have always been painted as heartless and conniving. She wants the world to know she was Charles' rightful wife back when she was a teenager, that they were in love back then, but Philip and the Queen ended their romance and forced him to marry Diana. She wants to have her say, and she's not going to pull plans to do this book easily. Sources say the book is just the latest saga in a long line of scandals behind the scenes at Buckingham Palace, involving Camilla, who is reportedly demanding that aides should call her Queen. She thinks the Queen should abdicate and demands that all her minions call her Her Majesty and Queen behind the scenes, telling them that they need to practice, says the source. It's frightfully disrespectful, but that's Camilla for you. She's really throwing her weight around at the moment. She wants to be head of the royal family sooner, rather than later.